How y'all doing out there? This is your man Nico B, Black Effect Enterprise. I want to say thank y'all for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. Matter of fact, getting us over the 1,000 mark very quickly. Many blessings to y'all, because I know a lot of my messages are spiritual messages, deep, eye-opening messages, very powerful messages. But I know the people who are following and subscribe to me are not just subscribers. They're brothers and sisters and followers and doers of the Lord's word, and just followers of truth, man. These are people who, are very intelligent. I will say that. I got to give y'all credit. Let me get into this, though. Women's leadership. The leadership of women will never be in order. When women are in leadership, there will never be order. There will never be any order under women's leadership. You can see this through history has shown you this. You've seen Jezebel when she was in power in biblical times. The chaos that this woman caused and the things she had going on in the society that she led, the things she allowed. Everything was all in fun, and it was just everything. You just include everything, there is no order. Basically, what people have to understand, and this is just a truth from God, is that on this earth, the thing is, you got two opposing forces. This is in human beings. This is in the universe. You have everything has an opposite light, and you have the dark. You have light and you have darkness. You have negative energies, positive energies. Light cannot mesh with the darkness. You can't have the two. Now, you can have them not saying that they have to get into it with each other, but what they have to separate is what has to happen. It has to be a separation. Otherwise, there's going to be one without the other. Men understand this. Men understand they can't let their child just go out and do everything they want. Men understand they can't let their daughter dress a certain way and go out in the public. Like real men understand that, not these fake, phony, secular men, and not these weirdos. It's some men you need to be watching. I see some guys who allow their little young daughter to be out there twerking, dressing like they mama, dressing like a grown woman. I look at those dudes with the ultimate side eye. And it's like in our community, that is the problem. That's a big problem. But usually real men don't allow that to happen. It's a mechanism in them, in their nature, to where they shut that down. They don't feel comfortable allowing that because they know what comes from that. They understand that they don't, and that also perpetuates, it also continues a cycle and grows an attitude within your daughter. Like, you keep allowing children to do that, she gonna mature too fast, and she gonna do things, start trying to be grown too fast. You shouldn't allow that for kids. But we don't. But women think that's innocent. That's part of their leadership that's failed the community. Yes, because the black community, let's be real, like a lot of the fathers, a lot of the men were gone in jail. A lot of them are dead in jail. A lot of black fathers, they left the community, period. Like they were so appalled by the things that were going on, or they felt like they were just inadequate. They could never live up to do anything. So they just left, and shame on those men. You understand? And then you had some men who were just, didn't know what they was doing, and just got with the women who didn't know what they was doing and had kids, and that's what happened in poverty and stuff like that. Look in countries where people starving, they still having kids. You gotta scratch your head and you say, why do you do that? Because that's just what happened when you having sex. That's what come from it. So you had children like that. So that shows you, but regardless of the why or the reason, the men weren't in the home. So you had, who else was leading the children? The women. I know I grew up, don't get me wrong. Again, I my example is a lot better than most black men because I at least had my father. Even though I didn't stay with him, I stayed with my grandparents. So my grandparents raised me, but I at least was able to see, you know, my even though my grandfather didn't talk much, he raised four girls. He never had boys. Even though he didn't talk much, I still was able to see his leadership. He went to work every day. He worked for a long time. He paid, he paid all the bills. My grandmother never worked in her life when she was with him. Never. Even though they weren't rich, they lived a comfortable life, man. I had more than most kids in the ghetto. You understand? Kids in the ghetto looked at me like, oh, like, damn, he got all the stuff in the J's and all that stuff like that. The material stuff. But I'm saying I still had most of them. I had all four aunties, my mother, my brother. I mean, pardon me. I had no three aunties, my mother, my grandmother, her sisters, basically, and on and on. It's just basically a lot of women. And these were strong women. Medea, Ollie, my grandmother, my dad's mother. My dad, lost his grandfather early. He lost his father early. I never even met my grandfather on my dad's side. And my dad, really gravitated, to his mother. It's like just a lot of women. And there's nothing wrong with that because these women in my life were righteous women. When I say my grandmother and my granny was, these were righteous women. My grandmother on my dad's side was a cutter lady. You know what a cutter, they say, do you know what a cutter lady is? Yeah, you don't because your mom damn sure ain't that. Nah, but I'm saying some of y'all do, man. I know a lot of y'all know what a cutter lady, real church lady. The one with them hats and who go to church and she now her leadership was pure because it was from the Lord. You understand? But even still, I couldn't follow that 100%. I rebelled against that. I rebelled against her leadership, like because a female can't, like a man has to have strong male leadership. He like a boy, he has to have it. He's gonna look for it. Otherwise, it's gonna get squashed and squandered by the mothers and stuff. And now a lot of these boys become effeminized under women's leadership because this was never ordained for women to be rearing boys alone. This was never ordained by God. Matter of fact, that's an abomination to the Lord. Yes, it is. I'm not blaming nobody. For the man who run off, for the woman who don't want to make it, it's both of y'all need to make it work. If you got a kid out of it, look in the white community and other community, like they don't just readily run off. That's not how you do it. Not saying they be doing that too. Don't get me wrong, they do it too though. They definitely do it too. But the boys need strong male leadership. That's what's lacking today. Like the men have to step up and start mentor programs to my partner Dennis Sperling said, man, shout out to him, man. Shout out to you, Dennis. Peace and blessings, bro. Like he was saying, a lot of us are gonna have to just accept the fact that we're gonna be taking care of some other men kids. And I'm not saying, me, like I'm into starting mentor programs though. I'm working on a couple of those. Lord willing, I'm able to get these things off the ground. But I mean, I always say I have sons and daughters that I'm not related to. Yeah, I mean, we are, I do as a man of the Lord, I do, but believe in the obligation to that. But a lot of the brothers need to start doing that. A lot of you dudes who looking to try to, y'all want y'all a bad chick or all this. A lot of you niggas ain't gonna be I don't know why you think your stuff don't stink. Single fathers definitely can't say nothing about getting with single mothers. Like if you got a kid, man, out of and you're not with the mother, you can't say nothing about getting with you need. I don't care how many kids the woman got. You and her need to link up and you need to shut up. Because y'all both, you messed up too, man. You don't have, like, I'm a man with no children, and I've done this, and this is by the purpose and design. You understand? The Lord showing me what comes with. I always understood that from a young age, what came with having a child. You understand the gravity of it, the seriousness of it, the commitment that comes with that. You don't readily just leave that. But a lot of, a lot of us, a lot of the brothers, even the ones who don't have children, like I said, you need to be linking up, start mentor programs. You need to be mentoring young boys in your hood and in your spare time, even just in your neighborhood who don't have fathers. You need to embrace them, man. Let them come over sometime, man. School them, let them, teach them about the Lord, man, for real. A lot of you brothers need to be doing that. You need to be teaching your own family about your history, like the history of the living God on earth, Jesus Christ coming to earth, man. And as a black person, like, and I'm really talking to black people too, but this is for everybody, but especially for black people, that you were raised, your grandmother, the person before that, they were raised in church, in knowing the word, and they turned out to be have a lot better outcomes as far as relationships, communities, decision making. These people were upstanding, noble character, a lot more noble character than the people you're around today. So it's like you shouldn't, and that brought them through. God brought these people through all of the times that we came through. Like, we jumped 0 to 60 without no other way could you do that without a miracle, nothing short of a miracle and the living God. Black people themselves being here in the position that they are, thriving like they are, is just a miracle in itself. And this is after, the leadership of black men. You understand? In the beginning, like, black men kept black women alive. They didn't if they would have just kamikazed everything, man, everybody would have, they would have got eliminated over here now in America. There would be the state of black people probably would, I don't know where they would be. Like I said, they probably wouldn't even be here. They probably would have just eliminated everybody. Mass genocide among the people. But it was black men who came and, who fought. And then, very few black women, like, Harriet Tubman, who also, did certain things. But we know the history of that. But these are people who were God-fearing people who believed in a certain thing. Like, these people weren't just, you're not so much better than those people, like, in knowledge or wisdom. Like, these people were wise. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have a lot more technology. But what I'm saying is, people try to think that they try to think that they so different in character or things. No, you just know more. That's all. Like, so you just have you just giving more things, but really at the core of core, you're no different than your ancestors. If you didn't, if years from now something was to happen, hypothetically, technology just went away, people went back into some I Am Legend days, you would revert to being just like them. Like, you just wouldn't know. Right now people know, like I say, too much knowledge is destroying them right now, because they just got too much information is what's destroying them. You just have more information is all. God has allowed you to have more. But anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent. But all I'm saying is that comes with male leadership. Now look at what's happening is the total fall away from the Lord, in the black community. You have debauchery running, niggas, who started the trend of turning around, showing they behind, then turning around, showing they face. Behind first, face second. That was women. Black women started that trend. You can have that trend. You started it. This is look at what happened with Samson in the Bible, man. Delilah caused him, a lot of men in the Bible, Delilah caused Samson to fall away from the Lord. Bathsheba caused David to have Uriah killed, to have one of his best captains, man, to have a captain in his army, one of his friends killed, set up. Bathsheba caused that. A woman. You better listen to the wisdom of the Lord, man. But now, because you have more women running society, you have a falling away from the true teachings of the Lord. Don't get confused because you see women in these fake churches and because you see women in these mega churches and stuff like that. These people not teaching the real word of the Lord. Because if you do, a lot of women today, if they're a feminist and don't want to follow Jesus Christ, they'll call the word of the Lord misogynist. Like, do you think the living God is a misogynist? Or they'll try to flip it and try to make it talk about God as like the universe instead of the Most High of the Bible. Or they'll try to say something, try to make it flip it and try to act like God could be a woman or something like that. No. The Bible says, everything in there is true and for learning and for wisdom, for all of our benefit. There's nothing in there that's untrue. So there is the Lord, they don't say anything in there about no feminine God or anything like that. Everything about the Lord, you see how his character is, and if the Bible is so much so man-made, or how they to benefit men, why is it that everything in the Bible pretty much goes against everything that men want to do? That don't, it again sets order. That's what that book does. It sets an order to life, sets an order for men and women to live by. It's God, man, woman, and child. It's an order in life. When you deviate from that, you get chaos. But again, you remember that Eve was the one who bit the apple and got Adam to follow. When you really think about it, the ironic thing of Satan in this world is, yes, men have done a lot of heinous things on the earth. The most horrible atrocities have came from the hearts of men. But behind that were women. Behind that were women powering them, telling them, it was women causing their distress, and they want to harm others. I mean, not they want to, because some of these men just do it, just are obsessed with that world. And like I said, that came from them, came from their heart. Not blaming women for everything that's bad. But a lot of times when you see men trying to take from other men or get more and they're not content, it's usually fueled, not even specifically that for a woman they with, it's fueled by their desire and their inadequacies for women, you know what I'm saying, and towards women, and a lack thereof. That's it. These niggas are, a lot of weirdos, a lot of little wimps, go out there and try to take and steal, rob and steal from others, because their inadequacies of getting women, or women just not feeling them for them. And that's just the way of the world. But a lot of men have failed due to following behind women. Men, there's no order there. You understand? Like, and I'm going to give you some real world examples. Like, with men are the one who keeps the order in relationships. If you really talk to most men, there's been studies and just social experiments done like this. If you talk to most men, they do not want an open relationship with a woman. You understand? They'll even go dibble and dabble out the relationship themselves, but they do not want their woman going out blowing another guy and coming back home to them. We've seen these type of relationships play out. You've seen that happen with the Will Smiths and the Jada Pinkett's. That's played out right in front of your eyes. White couples have done this. This stuff don't work out. People start resenting each other. And for men, it's always, if you allow that to happen, there's gonna be some competition amongst you. And then the woman is eventually going to leave you. No family would be together. There would be no more family. And that's gonna cause a lot of animosity. Like I said, people are you've seen white couples. I saw a video of and not to make this isn't even a race thing. This happens with everyone. But you've seen I saw a video of a white couple, and he was a stepfather, and it was the new father. He was a stepfather, and he was there, and the biological father was there to pick up his son, and somehow they just was one thing led to another, and the biological father ended up dead, getting shot by the stepfather. These are the things that will cause. Men are too aggressive by nature and protective by nature, possessive by nature, to allow these things to go on. Man, men, you wouldn't have any harmony on the earth. But see, men are the ones who maintain that order, not women. You understand? Now, if you get a lot of, not saying that's these women of today, like, want to be boss bees and all that. The reason why, like, men are just saying, like, look, that's not, we don't care about that. That's because you can go do all that, and then when you cultivate all that masculine energy, it's like it's repulsive to men. It's repulsive because women aren't supposed to have that type of energy, and they don't wield it well. Like, it drains women. Like, for women who try to be the boss bee all the time, it drains them very quickly because it takes a lot of, they don't have the God-given strength to do it physically. They have what if she get pregnant and then she go off? Man, having a baby take a lot of toll out of people. When a woman have a baby, that's a thing. Like, some women don't even survive that. Like, it takes a toll on you. 9 months, this is a life you have to nourish. It wears on you. A lot of women have to get their body back right. That's 9 months plus. You understand? Then you trying to go do the things of men. You don't have the discernment of men, the God-given discernment of men to see the future. Like, men have a gift to see things 10 steps ahead. The women have the gift of women's intuition. The women's intuition is to reveal the things in front of them, expand on. That's how, like, when they get rid of man, they can be able to see his strengths and build on them. That's her intuition. She know when he lying, or she can really read that to a good degree. These are for her benefit and for her children's benefit. Men have ability to see 10 steps ahead, to be able to protect, to be able to preventive care. Preventive care is a very special gift from the Lord. The gift of discernment, to see 10 steps down the line, to see the future, to nearly be clairvoyant. If a man hones that skill, he can become clairvoyant nearly, and that's a gift from God. He has to hone the skill under the tutelage of the Holy Spirit. You have men who try to hone these skills and through demons and tarot cards and all these foolishness. You see them men, voodoo. You see these men doing this, but that's bad leadership. Men are here to maintain the order. You see, like I say, man, you can't have a bunch of dysfunctional. You can't have the light and darkness together. If we were to allow in the neighborhoods to be taken over by Pookie, Ray Ray niggas busting guns and masks and sagging tight pants, do you know that like, you already hear black women saying that that's what's happening, even though that's not the case. Like, I could name 3 cities right now that don't have that going on, and I'm talking about just where I'm at. You understand? That's not where that's majority going. That will be the exception, not the rule. Like, so you have to have that though. Like, men can't boast if you're not holding your own neighborhood down and linking up with real men in your neighborhood, building with them and creating more of them. Then you part of the problem. That's bad leadership. But female leadership today causes a lot of chaos. Look at the women who are mayor, AOC. Look at what's happening with Kamala Harris. Where is she? Hillary Clinton scandals everywhere. She going, women be indulging. They can get susceptible. If men can be, susceptible to be controlled by Satan. I told you, Eve is the Bible told you, Eve was the first one to sin and cause sin upon the earth. She got everything that's caused everything that's going on right now. You think if the man is susceptible to bribes and deals, man, what you think the woman will do? And it's not, look, man, just like men, women have to return to the Most High. I told you in the beginning that my grandmother, I would have trusted her leadership. And I did as a child, as a young boy, I did. You understand? That's what kept me alive, and her prayers and things like that through my life. Because I told you, like, even though I had my father, I didn't stay with him. And me and my grandfather didn't really talk. That's not their fault. I can't blame them for things that they didn't know. But I was looking for, that true male role model. And I found it in the streets, in hip hop and things like that. Without my grandmother's leadership, I would have been dead or in jail. And her prayers and God's favor, the favor that God had for her, you know what I'm saying, and the teaching she gave me, allowed me to be able to find God and that path to God, which kept me on which pulled me from them areas at the time where I could have, it could have been over, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my friends, it was over. So it's not just, it's secular, it's worldly female. When I'm speaking about worldly leadership in amongst men and women. When you in the world and things like that, men have an order to their lead. There's more of a structure to their leadership. And this is because of that gift that I say of this is due to the gift of men that I said, which is being able to see things, basically a certain low level clairvoyance. This is where your laws come from. A lot of these laws come from the Bible, the biblical tenets. But you have man-made laws. We don't need them to change. Law enforcement. This is a man-made institution. You don't need that to be gone. Otherwise, more women will get killed. More women will be pillaged. A lot of men don't do things on the fear of the law enforcement. When you see men, a lot of these cowards kill their whole family or killing people. Even if they do that, as soon as law enforcement gets there, they kill themselves. A lot of that prevents a lot of men's fear of going to jail, going to prison, prevents them from doing things. This is a man-made institution set up by God, and you need that. You want it. When you leave it up to these, like I said, some of these goofy women, that I forget that lady name with the big forehead, her leadership, man, Nancy Pelosi, I can go on and on. You see where I'm going with this? Martin Luther King leadership got black people, like I say, a little further to where they are right now. Malcolm X's leadership got us to where we are now. Marcus Garvey's leadership got us to where we are now. The leadership that was in the Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton, got black people, saved a lot of black people and empowered them to become more and get to the next level, to do better in that generation. Like, this the same with our generation right now. You understand? It's a difference in leadership. A difference in leadership from you following a righteous man, and from you following, no offense, but from you following like a Kevin Samuels. You understand? We're not following people like that. And I got love for Kevin. Not saying there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. I mean, everybody in his different functions to the body, but he's not a leader, like, a black leader for us to follow. He just does his thing. And same with a lot of people. That's like us following a Lil Wayne or something. It's a difference in the leadership, but it would definitely be more order in following a Lil Wayne than you following a Nicki Minaj. It'll be more order in you following a Lil Wayne than you following a Lisa Ray. Be more order in you following. You would have order in following if you are under the leadership of Ice Cube than if you were under the leadership of, say, a Vivica Fox, you know. And that's just all I'm saying. Like, if you, and I'm gonna end it with this. If you look at hip hop, more women are running hip hop right now. More women are doing their thing in hip hop music. But what you're noticing is that there's no more order. People snitching, you know, niggas is just is snitching. There is no structure in the who people get down with. Like, people just, they beef one day, now they doing songs. There is no order in the business. Like, you got people who want to, like Megan Thee Stallion, who just sign a contract, then the next day she want to, or the next week she want out of it, and then say that it's the label fault and try to get out scot-free. You have women lying. I mean, you got people lying. The lyrics are the same. Everybody still like, don't no one have just their own flow. Like, Nicki Minaj is like one of the better rappers, but don't no one have like their own flow. Every woman gotta be the same. Gotta, like, videos are starting to look like all of them starting to look like uncut. You know, if you thought men were raunchy and had the 2 Live Crew, you know, it's gonna be 2 Live Crew to the 10th power. You seen the Wolfman? Like, nah, but seriously. So R.I.P. to my man, John Witherspoon. But now you're gonna see more, man. This gonna be 2 Live Crew. To look at Suki Hunter. Suki Hunter had a video on Twitter. Like, you couldn't even show that on YouTube. Like, I don't even know how that's on the internet. Like, that should be on uncut on OnlyFans, man, or, you know, Pornhub. Her video should have been on Pornhub. Cause you thought the tip drill, and people tried to drill Nelly for the tip drill video. But man, these women are taking that to the 10th power. You know, they taking that further than ever. Now they actually touching and performing sex acts on camera on the videos. The men didn't take it, you know, like, it's the same with the men. So it's like, who was exploiting who? It seems to me that women were just always ready to do this. It seems to me that you were going to always have a large group of women who are ready to do this. Now, under the female leadership, you let women like Nicki Minaj and them start trying to have a rap game. Everything gonna get weird. You're gonna start seeing dudes. You already have that. You got dudes, you don't know if they dudes. You're gonna see some women rappers, you don't even know if they real women. It's finna be some weird stuff going on. Parties gonna start getting a lot more weird. But again, highly weird and you know, ran by this satanic system, you know, they support that. So that's gonna be right up these people alley. They ain't gonna have to stay in the closet no more. You see them already coming up. This is what's happening when you under the feminine spirit and the Jezebel spirit. It's just inevitable, man. You know, real men gotta stay prayed up, stay close to the Most High, and start implementing male leadership in your circumference, in your environment, in your neighborhood. Start mentoring young boys. You know, again, it's a lot of things that need to be done, but that's the start right there. I mean, that's the main start right there. You know, because you're gonna have and just separate yourself from this. Separate yourself from the feminine-led society, bro. Like, not saying that you got, like, because when women talk about the things that work with men or that's worked for them, these are the things that has continued humanity. If you don't want humanity to continue, then, you know, it's showing to me that you know, and a lot of women are just kamikaze themselves instead of just trying to listen to the reason of a man. Women just jump out the window and a man be just trying to talk reason to her. So, like, that's basically why, and I'm gonna leave it at this. It's basically why the saying have been equated to equating women to children. And when you say that, these are people. What is the thing in common with them and children is that those group of people can't govern themselves. They need help. You understand? Like, it's not a problem. You know, it's nothing but love. You know, and real women understand that. They following Jesus Christ, man. You have nuns out here who ain't even dealing with physical men. Like they didn't give their whole dedicated their whole existence to living for the Lord and serving others. That's it. You understand? So it's not beneath you to some of these women who try to have attitude. It ain't beneath you to try to serve your man, and that don't mean be a slave. You know, strength and humbling yourself. So that's not understood in today's female-led leadership. Feminism want to bully men. They think they can, but as soon as they poke the burr and that burr get right on that burr get right on them, and then they start screaming bloody murder. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I don't want to make it too long. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all got some insight. And you tell me in the comments, just say anything in the comments that you want. Let me know if you agree. Let me know, if you because I mean, for real, I want to know your true thoughts. Just let me know whatever you want to say on this topic. With that being said, it's the Black Effect. I'm gone.